I hope everyone still has their
This
instruments
this
plugged
is
in. Zach, do a solo.
I unplugged everything.
Get it
Hold
back
on.
in there.
yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
also unplugged
Get it
everything.
back in there. You're the one who swore. Get it in
All right. Let
there.
me see here. I'll pull down. It might not be in tune, but let's hear.
It has to be
Ready, Tom?
perfect in one take.
There you go. There's a solo
Honestly,
for you.
honestly, that was pretty awesome. Zach, give us a solo. The noise suppression ate a little bit of it, but it did sound pretty good.
Thanks. It's the bass lick from Godzilla.
Oh, nice.
The atomic lick. I would like to welcome these fine individuals. Thank you guys very much for joining me. And this time we're going to stay on task and not interrupt each other or swear in the first 5 minutes. Because
Yes.
and I've been counting, we are now on take 7.
Well, this is. I'm just gonna say this is an even bigger reason to go to patreon.com/theinterestingnerdclub because there's solos and weird stuff that I almost swore again there. There's solos and weird things that and fun, interesting stuff that you aren't actually getting access to because we end up having to cut a bunch of these, especially when I show up, because egregious things get said.
Well, RIG, thank you very much for joining us today. Where can people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com, and you can go to Random Internet Guy, and I do Game of Thrones stuff there. Basically, exclusively Ice and Fire stuff now. I kind of trimmed some of the things in my channel that weren't that, so it's nothing but Ice and Fire things, and you can see actually a fun little Easter egg that Tom did for April Fools if you go over there.
Oh, that was such a fun video to do.
Yeah, it did really well too. People really enjoyed it. It was very, very well received, which I thought was nice. So
That
I
makes
was
me
really
really
happy that
happy.
people
That's
liked
so
it.
cool.
Yeah, everybody's April Fool's thing for a swap was well received. I was pleasantly I wouldn't say pleasantly surprised. I was just very happy that all of our audiences were like, "Oh, awesome, nice."
I am very excited because I have a theory for you guys today.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Tom. I have to promote something at the beginning of this video.
Oh, yes, of course you do. Go ahead.
And it's not. I don't know if it's what you think, but I have a video essay that will almost certainly be out by the time you're watching this. I have it over on my Zach from the Club channel. It's another bit of historical research where there's a subject that I looked across the internet and something didn't sit right with the level of information we had on it. And it's one of my other micro fascinations, my niche interests. It's the history of the quote unquote purity test, which, as you both know, is like a rite of passage for my friends. I make you take the crazy 500 question one and then report back to your scores. And I am in the room with two of the only people ever beat me. So, in what direction? Watch the video and find out, actually.
Yeah, I hope everyone is excited because and I'm comfortable committing to this now. This is going to coincide with a stream wherein I take the purity test live.
Oh boy, yeah. We're gonna do it on the Interesting Nerd Network.
Oh yeah.
Not only am I gonna have you, I think we're both gonna retake the 500 one. You won't believe what I found in my searches, Tom.
You won't believe.
You want, yeah, clickbait. The longest one we've ever taken is the 2000 question one. Would you believe I found a 2000 question one?
That is extremely stupid. In the comments below, tell me what number of question video you want on the other channel.
I would love to. We can go through the 500 because it's interactive. The 2000, I think, is going to have to be some sort of incentive because it's you have to manually keep score from the old internet.
Oh yeah, sick, cool. Wait, and like if you want to on that stream, either before or after we do the full 500, we can go through and we can check out some of the other like highlights from some of the other purity tests.
Oh, I would love to.
All right.
I also need to see if I can find some of the weird niche ones I've found reference to. There was a whole website that used to collect like every purity test they could find, and there were like some weird like niche community ones or like fandom ones, but they were all on GeoCities, so they're all dead. But some of them might still be on like other websites that didn't die.
All right, we are ready to go, and I'm gonna do a little bit of jazzy piano to get us in the mood.
It's a real shame the piano's not coming through on our end. Oh, wait, there. I heard it for a second.
Oh, there was one note. There was one note. You had one. You got one C7.
Yeah, just one little down. It was good though. It was good. I liked it.
It wasn't very good,
note.
but no piano I've ever played has been very good, so that's fine. Everybody, are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Zach, I'm pleased to say that you helped inspire this theory.
Woo! That's always a wonderful thing because that means I can never guess it, and I'm very confused.
Yes, we are beginning with this. Aegon the... You do not need to be bold. Aegon the Unworthy legitimized all of his bastard children. Leading to discontent and the Blackfire rebellions.
Hey Tom.
Yes.
Are you gonna share your screen?
Yeah, I will do that. But not because you told me to. I'm gonna do it because I want to. Okay.
That's perfectly
share
fair.
screen. Share screen. Go live. Ta-da!
All right, let's see if I can watch it now.
Aegon the
Aegon
the Unworth. Aegon the... Am I fixing that or is that funny?
Aegon the Unworth.
That's funny. Just leave it. Aegon the Unworth.
Aegon the Unworth.
That's what they'd call him in their cups.
Now, if you find that funny, please comment below. If you don't find that funny, please comment below.
Boost engagement. So let us know.
Yeah, and
but-
if you're perfectly neutral about it, please comment twice.
Yes.
All I know is my gut says maybe.
Please, on a scale, please rate how funny you find that on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is 1 comment and 10 is 10 comments. I want to give a quick shout out to the people who continue to use the comment section below the videos like a live chat. Not only does it really help engagement, it's also really funny. All right. There you go, guys. Zach, RIG, please have fun. Please enjoy. Because this is going in some truly incredible directions. You guys could get through this very fast if you say the right things, but I don't know. It's kind of tough.
I never say the right things.
I want to. This reminds me of something that is totally not at all where you're going and will not help with the theory in any way. But it is a conversation that I've had with a few friends recently that I want to have. But it's totally not even the Song of Ice and Fire direction. Do you want me to kill time with that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. If you want to riff, go ahead and riff.
Yeah. No. I was thinking like. The Aegon the Unworthy is interesting that his bastards caused a lot of problems, and well, he was not a good king himself. Like anything that he actually accomplished in his time was tarnished by the trouble that his bastards fighting each other made after his reign. Like even if he was a good king, he wasn't. He would have forever been known as a failure strictly because he legitimized all his bastards and let them reap and sow like issues all over. And I talked about this with a couple friends of mine, was the concept of a bastard child problem for pieces of media, where a piece of media in itself is like good, or at least, like not bad, but its cultural impact is to make like really bad, shitty things that follow it around. And
like Harry Potter.
not Harry Potter, Predator. Like, think of how many terrible, cheap movies rip off Predator.
I was thinking
Yeah.
like Harry Potter caused J.K. Rowling to be popular, and that kind of follows it around.
That's more J.K. Rowling being just a terrible person. I mean, like,
That's right. This is a call out post for J.K. Rowling.
There's no like direct problem with the thing itself, or even if there is, like, it's still an enjoyable piece of media. But everybody who is inspired by such a thing is like just garbage. Like, think of all the like terrible angry video game nerd knockoffs, or like all the webcomics that wanted to be Penny Arcade.
Oh my
or
god!
all the horrible attempts to make cinematic universes that weren't the MCU.
Yeah. You're saying things that are, even if they're decent, they might have a tendency to spawn a whole bunch of clones of them that vary in quality to all the way down to the extremely poor.
Because it's surrounded by. When I think of Penny Arcade, I don't just think of Penny Arcade. I think of Control Alt Delete and how like abysmal it is.
If I can slide in here really quick just for a second. So, I know we talk about the Blackfires a lot because the Blackfires are cool and they're the best. But
wait,
also, Aegon the Unworthy.
Hold on a second. Are you going to a new point?
What now? Yeah, I'm saying the Blackfires are cool.
No, hold on. We can't go to a new point yet because Zach dinged.
What?
Oh, okay. Go for it. Well, then put the dings. I'm curious to see if it's in alignment with what I was going to say.
Through the What did I get here?
And like Grant, like I'm gonna call this. You can't like you caught like the corner of it. You caught the barest piece of the ball, but it stayed in bounds. George Martin has a tendency to put historical parallels between his histories and his and A Song of Ice and Fire.
Interesting.
I'm a little confused, but I'm a little confused by the wording in that. Does that mean that he has historical parallels in his histories of A Song of Ice and Fire, or that A Song of Ice and Fire contains historical parallels?
Historical parallels between fictional things within the Song of Ice and Fire universe. What's a good example off the top of my head? Right.
His universe contains like self-contained historical parallels.
Exactly.
Like there's historical parallels within the unit. Okay, I get you. Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
Daenerys' 3 dragons to Aegon's 3 dragons is
exactly. Yeah. I totally get what you're saying.
The mass poisoning theory.
So can I really quickly? I just wanted to say, since we do talk about the Blackfires a lot, and it said he had lots of children leading to discontent and rebellions, but I'm curious if there is a ding out there for the non-Blackfire children of Aegon the Unworthy. Does this ding? Is there a ding maybe for Shara Seastar or Bloodraven or any of the other even Bittersteel, any of the other ones out there? Because there's a bunch of them, and there are probably ones I'm not even naming.
Yeah, that's a ding for sure. Bloodraven is descended from House Blackwood.
Okay.
That's a ding.
Okay.
We're gonna put that down in this corner. I don't know if the corners are gonna matter.
We got House Blackwood's connection to the Great Bastard Bloodraven. So, I mean, are we, Zach? Do you have any thought about is this potentially going to be a Bloodraven centric theory? Like, is this? I'm not sure if we should be talking about the Bloodraven, but I'm now that we see it on the board, I feel like maybe we should Think about Bloodraven killing his family members, like, 'cause he kills a lot of family members. He tries to stop the Blackfire rebellions. Like, he does a lot of shit within House Targaryen.
Well, okay, so interesting. What could Aegon the Unworthy be paralleled with? If Aegon the Unworthy is the historical thing in here, then it must be comparing it to somebody in the main book series. Because we don't have Aegon the Unworthy in the main book series, and we barely have Blackfires. We have one maybe Blackfire who's not even calling himself a Blackfire.
Well, then, like, let's say, what about? I would say that the through connections might be through to young Griff. You know what I mean? If we're trying to do,
it could
some
be
kind
through
of
to
connection
Griff,
to House Blackfire.
I think if we're talking about somebody who, let's talk about people we know have a lot of children and potentially a lot of bastard children. There's Oberyn Martell, there's Euron Greyjoy, and
Legitimizing all of the bastards, huh? Yeah.
Someone who has a lot of bastards and trueborn children is a Walder Frey. Those are all.
That's very true.
Ding.
That's very true. Is that a ding?
Oh yeah.
Walder Frey has many bastards. He has children. He has children. He has children with a Blackwood too. Lord Blackwood actually goes on about how that's a big betrayal at the Red Wedding because they're kin.
Ding.
Is that a ding at all?
Oh my god! What is happening?
We were talking about Jaime on the live stream last time, and this is a thing that Jaime encounters: is he takes Lord Blackwood's surrender and he takes the hostage. And it's explained to him.
This might be
kinship.
This might be a short video, you guys. I do want to take this moment.
I'm
taking the spotlight here for just a second. I want to say.
Okay, go ahead.
This is not an original theory entirely, but I have put a very pleasant spin on it of my own that I think you guys are going to enjoy.
Okay. I was gonna say, what about the kinship to the Brackens? Does Bracken kinship matter here at all, or is this all Blackwood Frey stuff we're talking about?
Is this a spin-off of the Frey Civil War theory?
Ding.
Ooh, okay.
One of the most.
Is this
hang on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. One of the most popular.
Okay.
In the Song of Ice and Fire fandom is the Frey Civil War. Go watch Preston Jacobs.
Love that theory.
Boop, that's going right here.
So does this have to do with the Blackwood Freys taking over? There being a secret Blackwood Frey? I've heard this idea. I've heard this idea suggested to me.
You're definitely thinking the right way, but no, that's not what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, the Blackwood.
Okay, so nothing with a secret Blackwood. Okay, so what about the Brackens? Like I was saying, for the Brackens, there's a Bracken bastard, Aegon the Unworthy. The Blackwoods and the Brackens are related by blood. Is anything there or no? As
far as I could tell, and by the way, this is the video we're doing next. Stay tuned for the next video. We're doing the Frey family tree. I was unable to find any Bracken connection.
Okay, so no Bracken connection, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, Zach, what do you think? Ask a probe question here, or draw a card, or something.
This is interesting because there's kind of a power vacuum in the Riverlands, so a Frey Civil War will likely just be another massive, horrifying travesty in the Riverlands and an unending chain of horrible travesties in the Riverlands, because the Tullys are, being dragged out of Riverrun, and the Peter Baelish, who is supposed to be in Harrenhal, is never going to go there voluntarily. So the Freys are pretty much the closest thing you have to a figurehead in the Riverlands.
So,
Crown really
random question. Actually, just a side thought. Sorry to cut you off. The other Blackwood Frey, though, isn't that Big Walder?
Yes. Big Walder is descended from Lame Lothar Frey. He is not in
Does
did,
Big Walder's?
I did start
He's
out
not in here?
trying
Okay.
to find a connection for Big and Little Walder into this
Yeah.
theory, but I was unable to do so.
Well, I thought maybe for a second this might be a Big Walder's going to set the Frey crossing throne theory because, like, maybe he'll end up. I mean, all the other Freys will kill each other, and he'll end up in the line of succession a lot closer. But if he's not involved, then never mind. Okay.
So
Well,
talk to
so
me.
Zach could continue because Zach was talking about House Frey, and I'm like, yeah, we got to probe a little deeper into House Frey and their ranks.
So House Frey. Yeah. Well, we've got a lot of options for who power could fall to, but I presume it's going to be one of his bastards claiming that he's really like, if we're going for a on the unworthy comparison here, one of his bastard kids, and I think is Black Walder a bastard?
Black Walder is not
Yeah.
a bastard, but hang on, but he is in here somewhere.
One of his bastard kids is probably going to claim, for whatever reason, he's going to have some sort of symbol of legitimacy, much in the same way that Daemon Blackfire had Blackfire.
So, do we think that either one of two things will happen? Do we think that Walder Frey will legitimize all the Freys, or another thing? Do we think? Yeah, kind of like you're saying, Zach, that like because there was in the Blackfire Rebellion there was the question of whether or not I believe it's Daron, the brother, who was in line to be king, a question of whether he was the Dragon Knight's son or not, and if he really was Aegon the Unworthy's son. If I recall correctly. Will anything like that happen? Do we?
Kids at the same time, which is a task.
Yeah. Tom or Zach, is there any dings for anything to do with the basically the contention more or less of whether or not the true heir is actually a real heir? The legitimate heir.
Tom leans.
Or is there nothing in there?
Tom leans back and looks at the ceiling. No, but we can speculate on that at the end.
Okay. Well, so Zach, do we think this has anything to do with Walder Frey legitimizing all Freys? Are we in an all Frey territory here?
I don't know if he'll legitimize all of them. That could be part of the theory.
All Frey all day.
It could be like there's some arguments being made for I'm gonna bring up old Celtic government systems here. There's a system of inheritance. I know this from too many hours in Crusader Kings 2, called tanistry, where instead of passing somebody down just because they happen to be the oldest son or oldest brother or however you would determine inheritance, they basically have members of the family decide who is Tanist, who is the most experienced, who has the most capability to lead.
Who's been basically who's been in the sun the longest, right?
Damn
Yeah,
you!
exactly.
Damn you! You got fucking. I was trying to get in on that joke. What during that? God damn it!
I think that's actually legitimately what it means, though. I'm not.
That's but you are more or less on the track of how Aegon the Unworthy felt about Daemon, if the stories are to be believed. In theory, that's the argument behind Daemon being king, is that Daemon is the more worthy of being the king. And the legitimization of the bastards is to make it so that there is no legal barrier to him being the king.
Yes.
I mean, it seems that way. I could be reading this wrong. I do want to do a video on the complete history of the Blackfire, so I'm going to go back and do a much more detailed survey of the history and kind of try to piece it apart and stuff. But it seemed as though when Eustace, people who were knights and warriors and shit, were trying to construct a case that they wanted to present as to why Daemon was a good king, whether this case was a good case or legitimate case or not, the argument centered around he's a better pick. This guy's much more worthy, and his dad gave him the sword, and the dad legitimized all the bastards, therefore there's no reason why he can't be the king. And it's like, so, because they didn't seem to see a conflict there. They all seemed to think that he was a perfectly legitimate king, and that it was absolutely reasonable to pick the guy that other people, that just everyone collectively was like, that guy's good. He's cool. We like him. Anyhow, so what was the ding we got? We got a ding for
Daemon
claim
Blackfire.
Aegon was more worthy.
Daemon Blackfire claimed that Aegon felt he was more worthy of the throne. Now, I should note.
Now, did Daemon personally claim that? Because I always heard that from people around him.
If I could get to the end of my memes, you would see the complete meme for what it is. Daemon claimed that I assert that Daemon claimed that Aegon IV felt he was more worthy of the throne. There is some open debate as to whether it was Daemon claiming that or Daemon's PR team claiming that.
Even then, he still raised the sword of rebellion.
Oh, okay.
He felt it, right? Like, you don't go into a rebellion against the current king unless you believe that propaganda.
Well, you could.
It's not like people get up during presidential debates.
No.
So
as far as I know, and this is all more or less a little bit debatable because it's based on hearsay. But Daemon doesn't just rebel right away. There's like a long time where time passes, and allegedly, according to some sources, he is surrounded by people who basically give him that opinion, and they change his mind, and they convince him that, well, actually, bro, you really should be doing the kinging. And then eventually he goes, fine, I guess, yeah, I should be doing the kinging.
I have added an asterisk to that. Actually, interestingly, there's an interesting sort of parallel between that and how Criston Cole and Aegon the Second are described in Fire and Blood, because Aegon the Second did not want the throne, and it was not until Criston Cole convinced him to take the throne that he took the throne.
That's the argument that I've heard, that it was more or less Bittersteel and several other recalcitrants that thought that basically that Bloodraven and a crappy king had way too much influence and control at court. They didn't like that.
Yeah.
And so they convinced the guy who they liked, thought that should be. So there's several perspectives, which is why I'm like, the history of the Blackfires is interesting because there's and I think George does do that parallel. So.
And I've added an asterisk to this. Because it is interesting, but it's not. That's not what I'm looking for.
I should also point out that could be historical revisionism too. Mm-hmm. George has put historical revisionism in his work because, like, he's a good author and he thinks about things like that. Like, it could be that Daemon Blackfire was a massive whining asshole who just waited too long to rebel, but they made him like noble for like a lost cause sort of mythology after he died heroically in battle.
And when we get the next few Dunk and Egg books 15 years from now, we might find that out.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
I think Lost Cause is an interesting way to look at it, because you have Sir Eustace, who was basically alive during the time, and you can't really verify if Eustace is brainwashing himself and changing his mind over time to construct a more noble story, or if what Eustace is saying is true, and more or less a lot of people really did think Daemon was the rightful king, and he was kind of reluctant, but everyone around him persuaded him to do that shit, and he had the support of a lot of warriors and nobility, and they all thought it was right. And I was like, you don't really... 100%, the politics could... Yeah. Anyhow, what are we saying about this thing here, though?
Now, Zach, I want to turn attention back to you, because you were making some good points a little while ago. Go right ahead.
Well, it could be that somebody claims that they have a better, set of reasons. They have more accomplishments. They're the quote-unquote tannist. And I think, like, a good contender for that is Walder Rivers. He has Walder's name, and he has, done a lot of things. He was the one who led the attack during the Red Wedding. He was the one who took on the soldiers in the camps. That was the, actual threat during the Red Wedding. That was like a task that you assign somebody you clearly trust. And also, he's the one who gets sent out with Jaime to deal with, Riverrun. He is on hand with Jaime for that siege.
I think that is closest enough to a ding. Hang on here a second.
Also, Walder's mother died after falling from a horse, which just adds to the horse conspiracy.
That's another ding. Bastard Walder's mother is unknown. She died falling from a horse.
Last seen a horse, and then at her funeral.
That's interesting that she's unknown too. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought
isn't
maybe
that
we had some
interesting?
kind of idea who she is.
Isn't that interesting? I had. Oh yes, okay, yeah. Here we go. This is a quote from immediately following the siege at Riverrun. Jamie says, "Has some ill befallen Sir Ryman?" And then says Walder Rivers, "Hanged with all his party. The outlaws caught them 2 leagues south of Fairmarket." And this is Jamie and...
Oh wait, is this like are we getting into some Frey conspiracy territory? Like Walder Rivers is murdering all the other Freys and blaming and not all of the hangings are actually Lady Stark's doing or Lady Stoneheart's doing?
Who's Ryman Frey?
He was the
Ryman's
next in line for the twin, or the second in line for the twins. He was pretty up there in being in line for the twins, as I
Second in
recall.
line to inherit, yeah.
Ryman Frey. Ryman Frey. Was the how did I put it? Ryman Frey was the heir to the crossing.
Oh, he was the actual heir. I thought
He
he
was
was
the
there was one
actual
person
heir.
ahead of him, but he was the actual heir. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, that does reek of some bullshit. But is that where we're headed?
Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting that now it's muddy?
Are we
Yeah, he was,
are we in the
Ryman was
Frey
the
Civil
first
War is already holding territory? Is that what the theory is? The Frey Civil War is already kicked off.
Oh, 100%. Oh my God, yeah, it's already kicked off. Zach, go right ahead.
Yeah,
What do you got?
Ryman was the son of Steveron Frey, and Steveron is also dead. That means the next one after that will be Aegon Frey, who I believe is Jingle Bell, who is dead.
Yup.
And that his next child is Miguel Frey, who is a woman, so will not be inheriting. And then there's Walton Frey, who we don't know a ton about, and presumably is now the heir to the crossing. He is the father of Stefan Frey, who we also don't know a lot about. But married to a Harding. We don't know a ton about Walton Frey, but I can't imagine he...
A Harding, by the way, a Harding of the Vale related to Harry the Heir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything becomes very complicated with the very unfortunately timed delivery of this information from Walder Rivers. Everything's really complicated now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right, keep it going. You'll note that we have a whole section over here.
Yeah.
Boop,
so
boop.
this is interesting because there's various ways that you can manufacture like a succession crisis when you kill off enough people. You can put somebody on the throne who is not going to be stomached by the lords of the Riverlands, although, like I said, there's a power vacuum there, so it might actually be easier to get somebody less liked up on that throne. Or you can make it somebody who there's going to be some serious logistical challenges with them getting to the auspices of power, basically. They're nowhere near the throne at the time. You can sit on it and try and basically do what Aegon II did, right? Rhaenyra is not here, so get me on the throne and get me a crown and get me my king's guard and get me, as many people on my side as possible before she catches on to the fact there's a coup going on here. That's something that Walder Rivers could 100% do. Like, for example, if he narrows it down to the point where the heir is the still living Frey child in the north, he's got to make the journey all the way down during winter to get to the crossing. That's going to be a little bit, and that's all the time he needs to, waltz on up to the crossing and say, actually, it's mine. He didn't quite say it, but my old man legitimized me on his deathbed or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. On his death, just like Viserys in the show, right? Viserys in House of the Dragon, his last words were, "I think that you should be Lord of the Crossing, Walder."
Yeah. If he, that could be like, if he says, I intend my heir to be Walder, then people will go, wait, which one?
Zach, I have a quick. This is why you don't name all your kids the same thing. Anyway,
shout out to that one person who has a half sibling with the exact same name in our audience.
Yeah, shout out to all the George Foremans out there. Zach,
all the Foremans in the audience.
Zach. By the way, I'm sorry. I should have written this down earlier when we were talking about House Bracken and House Blackwood have a long.
Oh, so it was a thing earlier.
Long-standing feud. I'm sorry. That was all the way the fuck down in additional tinfoil. So I apologize. House Bracken and House Blackwood have a long-standing feud. So we're starting to take a look at this, right? And let's keep in mind that what are we drawing parallels to here? What historical event?
The Blackfire Rebellion, at least.
Exactly. And Zach, you said that.
But there could be other ones, though.
Zach, you said that that Walder Rivers might just rock up and say, "I am." But as we learned from the Blackfire Rebellions, people don't work alone.
Yeah,
and
there'd be a conspiracy around,
Are we including Lame Lothar in this? Is that 100%?
100% Lame Lothar is in on this. 100% he's relevant. I want to talk about heraldry.
Okay. This is how I inspired it. It's heraldry. You weren't here for us recording it, and it's not out yet, RIG. But the last Theory Town I recorded was about heraldry and potential for friendly fire. Because young Griff and Daenerys are going to get into a fight, and they have the same heraldry, which is a great potential for somebody to accidentally burninate the wrong army with a dragon.
Zach, just so you know, you're clinking and tinkling something.
Oh, sorry, that's because I picked up my keys halfway through that.
I thought you were like emptying your dishwasher.
I did that earlier. I should have recorded it.
And if you want footage of Zach emptying his dishwasher, subscribe to our Patreon.
God, now I have to do that.
Yeah.
I'll do the one back in Pennsylvania. It's a little mini dishwasher. It's on our countertop.
So RIG, why don't we
live footage?
Why don't we start with you? Talk to me about some relevant heraldry to this theory.
Okay, well, if it's Blackwood, it's the tree, right? Isn't that their symbol, the tree with all the ravens in it? And if it's Bracken, it's the horse of Bracken.
House Bracken. House Bracken.
But we're gonna have some division symbols. A lot of these things are going to be quartered and, be remade in certain ways.
Is a red stallion on a yellow field? Is that correct?
I do believe so.
And we're gonna put that right here. All right, Zach, let's hop to you. Tell me some heraldry.
The Frey one is a crossing. It's literally the towers of the bridge underneath it are connecting it.
The Frey sigil is two towers on a gray field. I think it's two blue towers.
Yes.
All right, keep it going.
Goodness. What's the what do we have? Bracken.
What if I underline RIG? What if I underline this?
Well, so I was gonna try to say I was gonna ask about young Griff anyhow here because we're getting into divisions and Freys, and then who the Freys might support during a potential war between young Griff and the throne and Dany and yada yada yada. So is there anything along those lines? Is this going to be like a Bracken Freys siding with young Griff?
Wait,
is there anything there?
Does Walder Rivers' personal coat of arms or heraldry give me a ding?
Walder Rivers.
Yeah.
Because his is just.
Oh, is he a secret Bracken? Is that what this is?
Oh,
Rivers is a secret Bracken?
Oh, hang on. Everybody relax. I can only do so many dings at once. Zach, do you know Walder Rivers' sigil, or do you have to look it up?
No, I was already looking up, so I saw it, and I saw how unique, quote unquote, unique it was, because he literally just put a red cross through the crossing.
He did not. He did something else to it.
There's a red band sinister, silver gray castle on blue, colors of House Frey reversed beneath a red band sinister. So it's the colors reversed.
Is the Frey House Walder Rivers sigil is the Frey sigil reversed
with the red line
in colors with a red band. And Zach, why is that relevant?
That's interesting.
Because the Blackfires have the reversed sigil of the Targaryens. It's the colors reversed.
You asked Zach to say it. I was going to try to say it.
I'm sorry. I apologize. However, you were hitting on something real spicy, RIG. Tell me about the Brackens.
Well, you were saying that, like, what if he was a secret? I was saying, what if he was a secret Bracken? You know, because the Brackens are Blackfire supporters, and they would potentially side with Aegon if he's a Blackfire.
Ready for this? I just underlined that word, and then I underlined that word.
Horse and stallion.
You goddamn
they
right.
Have horse for their sigil. I mean.
Of course. Yeah. Hey, look at that.
Of horse.
I assert that Bastard Walder, whose mother we do not know, is a Bracken, and that is lampshaded by the fact that she died falling from a horse, the sigil of her house. I assert that means that she died in childbirth.
Oh, okay.
Also, the Brackens have lands on the red trident, which is why they have the red horse. So his red stripe could be, an homage to where his mother's from.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like the red stripe being the red fork, or that to me makes a lot of sense. In the inversion, the colors being a tip to the inversion of colors from the Blackfires. It's very interesting.
So I am asserting that what we have. Oh, and I have one more that I'll just throw to you guys because this is kind of you kind of got to dig for this one. In what's that show that the books are based have as their source?
The Bad Dragon Show. It's the other way around. The Bad Dragon Show is based on the books.
In the Bad Dragon Show, Black Walder and Walder Rivers are combined into one character.
Yes.
So, follow me here. You ready? Is this all on screen? Boop, boop. It sure is.
Yes.
Ready? Follow me. Follow me here. You ready? I assert that Black Walder and the Bracken Walder Rivers are one side of the Targaryen Blackfire Frey parallel conflict, and Lame Lothar Frey and the Blackwood Freys are the other side.
Okay.
Boom. Bam.
Interesting.
I assert.
That is very interesting.
I assert that as Bastard Walder is part Bracken, he will be in conflict with Lame Lothar Frey. Black Walder is going to serve as his bitter steel. Lame Lothar Frey is going to uphold the quote-unquote legitimate Lord of the Crossing, which really could be anyone. And he is going to end up being the functional Lord of the Trident. Lord of the Crossing at the end of it all. He is the Blood Raven of this.
He's the Blood Raven. I was saying he's the Blood Raven of the equation. He's the Frey Raven.
Black Walder is the son of Ryman Frey, but he's the second son of him. Edwin Frey is his older son, who would potentially be the heir at the moment. Well, okay, that gets complicated. Because the whole succession is a fucking mess right now.
Yes, and that's right. This is a recipe for nightmare.
It's a recipe for nightmare, and we also don't know which Freys are going to live long enough to be in contention. Like, by my calculations of who would be the heir, it's Edwin. Stevron being Walder's firstborn, Ryman being Stevron's firstborn, and Edwin being the firstborn of, Ryman. And Edwin's child is Walda, but no, not that Walda. This is getting very messy.
Can I throw in... So we've gotten to the end here, right? Stopping here and understanding that we're going to go on to a little bit more craziness in a minute. All right, G, what are you thinking?
Oh, wait, no, hold on. I have something even better for you, Tom.
Okay.
Before you,
I'll let that go while I let my cat out really quick, and then I'll return.
There was a rumor that Darren the Good was a bastard himself. He was not the son of Aegon the Unworthy. Remember that?
Yeah.
There is a rumor that Walder Frey is not the child of Edwin Frey, but the child of Black Walder Frey.
Oh, yeah.
And Walda is second in line to inherit, according to, the Wiki of Ice and Fire, which is usually pretty good about inheritance. By the math I did, back of the napkin math right there. Walder Frey could end up, if Edwin dies, being the person on the throne, but Black Walder could pop in and say, actually, she's a bastard, to try and push his claim, because he is the one right after her, which would lead to a succession crisis of its own.
Oh my God. I love it. Right. I kind of love this. Right. This is like politics at its grimiest.
Yes.
It's all.
I think if nothing else, this is very interesting.
So yeah,
it makes for a wonderful mini story that does parallel some of the bigger stories.
Yeah, and none of it needs to be on the forefront. This can all be happening in the background, or this can be happening in the background, or honestly, we could get a Frey POV. Right, we could get like who could be like among the Freys, maybe like Edmure. Or Edmure's wife, who is Edmure's wife is a Frey, right? Yeah. She could be like in there. We could see the Freys fall to pieces from her perspective, and I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I have just the barest piece of additional tinfoil here for you.
Please,
if you guys would like, if you still have a taste.
Of course.
If you're still a little we've gone through a meal. The waiter comes up and he's like, "Can I interest you guys in some cheesecake? I have just a little cheesecake for you, okay?"
Go for it.
You may recall, I have a couple of things, right? When the succession got particularly messy, a council was called. And that was when Egg was quote unquote elected, right? In the Bad Dragon show, you may recall, Arya Stark kills Walder Frey and pretends to be him and poisons everyone at the council, I'm sorry, at the at like a big dinner. What do you think of the idea that Arya Stark kills Walder Frey and issues a decree from inside of Walder Frey's body that there is to be a council to decide the succession, and then kills everyone at the council?
Maybe she doesn't need to. Maybe she goes to kill everybody, and they're already fighting.
What if Arya Stark legitimizes all of his bastards to drive the succession crisis in fucking sane?
I like that.
So I'm probably the only one in the world at this point who still thinks Arya is not going to become basically a video game spree murdering character. I'm still firmly on the fence that she's not actually, in fact, going to go full GTA.
But she doesn't need. That's not full GTA.
But,
that's like that's like that. Hey, that's not GTA. What that is Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
No. It's just let's say like the super imploding. Listen, I think that part of the lessons that we got to learn about Arya is that you can't go full Stoneheart. That's I mean, I would think that's her lesson. I would think her lesson is you can't go full Stoneheart.
On the one hand, I agree with you, and that's a very good point and well reasoned. On the other,
but you'd love to see House Frey explode.
On the other hand, Arya Stark in Walder Frey's body issuing insane commands like fucking hang on. I can't remember the name of the president from 1912 to 1920 anymore. Why can I not remember
the name of Woodrow Wilson?
Yeah,
after all the debates we've had, I can't remember the name of Woodrow Wilson.
I'm sorry, I've been talking for an hour. right. Arya Stark issuing commands like Woodrow Wilson's wife.
I think a far more interesting and exciting thing is the damage that Stoneheart with Jaime under her command has the possibility to do, because Jaime is really good at bossing the Freys around, and the cloak of the Kingsguard gives him access, him and his entourage, access to anywhere in the kingdom in theory. So if Stoneheart ever actually wanted to go inside, say, Riverrun or Harrenhal or the twins, that now potentially she has that ability, which I think is definitely an interesting thing. Because so I could see Jaime and Stoneheart getting into the twins and causing a bunch of ridiculous havoc.
And then Podrick takes his face and wears Walder Frey's face.
No, or they just issue a bunch of decrees that say they come from Walder, and it sends all the Freys into chaos.
I do like the idea of Jaime. Oh my god, that's really funny. Like Jaime, Stoneheart, and Brienne like hiding in Walder Frey's room and just passing decrees under the door while Walder Frey rots behind them.
Yeah.
His lordship does not wish to be disturbed.
Yeah, see, I mean, like, you never know. I mean, there could be some interesting Frey bullshit that comes from the Stoneheart.
This is the plot of Harry Potter 4.
Here's a thought that never occurred to me.
This is also the plot of Weekend at Bernie's, a little bit, kind
of.
Oh, yeah, it is Weekend for Bernie's. Varys kills Pycelle in his office.
Yeah.
What's to say that Varys didn't send out a bunch of letters right after he killed Pycelle?
Zach,
before Kevin shows up?
Nobody talk for a second. Zach, say that again.
Who's to say that Varys didn't send out several letters on ravens from Pycelle's office to stir more chaos before Kevin showed up?
Zach, that's fucking genius.
that is a very interesting thought. I will
Yeah,
say.
you're in the most important mailroom in all of Westeros, and you're trying to sow chaos. I know what I'm gonna be doing.
Is it possible that is Varys is a mummer? Could Varys take the place of Pycelle?
I doubt it. Pycelle's
I
corpse is more
I
important than a
don't
fake
think
Pycelle,
so.
but
Yeah,
Varys,
I don't think he'd take his place.
Varys could take place of one of his like multiple probably like other maesters that work for him or
Oh my
like
god.
acolytes, whatever you call people.
Varys wrote the pink letter.
That's an unhinged take. I like that one.
What is
No, we all know that. We all know that Cold Hands wrote the pink letter with those big cold hands.
Yeah, exactly. That's our show, everybody. Thank you guys.
Tune in next time for Cold Hands wrote the pink letter.
Thank you guys very much for joining. Please do Please do check out Zach's new video.
It's in the description.
Yeah. And stay tuned for some live streams. I'm gonna take the purity test. RIG and I are gonna race Pokemon. We're gonna do lots of stupid stuff. Anybody have anything to add?
Nothing really, no.
Wow. It's important to end on a strong joke. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.